Phil, I've been trying over the last few weeks to try and update my Enchantress list because I was doing so well with Enchantress before Gothic that I thought to myself, why not try and make just a better, version of the deck as we're coming into a new format. So,
Dude, I've only gotten to play so much since Gothic has come out, and then I saw that people just started talking about mainboarding droughts, and I'm personally offended.
I mean, I am actually also mainboarding Drought here. I'm going to show the deck, but I got to tell you, after playing a bunch with Harry here the last couple of days on TTS, again, I want to thank Jeremy Murray for pushing us towards that. So playing the deck, I decided that like 3 Drought was the way to go because there's just so much water. There's so many like Necromancers is a big deck, and Blue Magic is basically Necromancers as well. But there's so many decks that are just like mono blue, like let's burn them out with just blue value creatures. That I decided like if I play 3 Drought, like I have like a hedge against these decks. I can stop them from doing their thing long enough that I can start doing my thing. My thing's bigger than their thing, right? I gotta tell you, man, I blasted down a Drought on turn 2 or turn 3 against Harry. He was playing Necromancers to just let me get some reps in. It did not matter. Drought, it did not matter at all. Like I just completely still got ran over by that deck.
Drought against mono, like you still got run over by mono water.
Yeah. I mean, it felt good for a second, and then the deck just continued. Like the deck goes so early that by the time I get to turn 4 against them, or even like let's say I ramp it out with a tower, right? Like he can just start building the other direction. The deck already wants to build in a way that's like not normal for you want to build like an M against me. So I already like am not going to hit four sites. It just
Zach,
almost never happens.
That's the question that when you were like, I want to talk about my Enchantress updates. My thing was, now that everybody understands that the way to beat Enchantress is just build the M, then that just means that the Enchantress players have to figure out a way that you can combat that. So how do you combat the M?
There's plenty of ways to combat that. It's like one, I think my previous list. Let me look at my previous list real fast. We're going to share my old list here so that I can give people an idea as far as what the deck used to look like and then what it looks like now. We'll do that. We'll have. So here's my first place Cornerstone winner deck. This deck played 13 auras and 12 minions, and you can see the minions were kind of they were utility minions. They were there to do specific things, right? If we look now at my go forward here. If we look at my current Enchantress list, we're on way more creatures. Apparently, it's going to take a minute for this to find itself. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield. They just dropped an advanced search engine for Sorcery the Contested Realm. If you want to browse every available card or dig deep with powerful search filters, head over to sorcery.moxfield.com. You can even click on the search syntax button on the main page to see all the terms you can use. And don't worry, when new cards are revealed from official sources, Moxfield updates quickly. Now on to the show. All right, if we go to my Float Enchantress deck, that is not Earth Enchantress deck. You can see I'm playing 20 minions, and I'm playing, I got Clairvoyant. I've got some Apprentice Wizards. I've still got the Fey Changeling. I switched to Morgan Le Fay because I just think that that's better in a deck where you're only playing 11 Magic over Merlin. I've got Orm Infester, Monstrous Lion, Phoenix, Legions of Gaul, Cherubim, and I have Automatum and Igneous Rex in here as well as the Grandmaster Wizards. So I'm playing a lot more creatures in the deck. In fact, I think you could say that a lot of the space that the deck decided to take up after the change of 60 to 30, from 50 to 60, was that I decided to make this deck a little more creature focused. One of the reasons for that, Phil, is because of Falling Star.
Oh, I see. So Falling Star is just a 4-mana beater that then replaces itself after the third turn comes out in this deck.
Yeah, so so you want to have hits on the Falling Star, obviously. Like it sucks to just be like, here's an Apprentice Wizard off of the Falling Star, even though it does, like, there is some value there. Like, it's gonna blast in some kind of value. Like maybe it hits the opponent's avatar for for 1 damage or something like that. It does allow you to also put things in a place where you wouldn't normally be able to put them. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, it allows you to put things like a minion where you normally wouldn't be able to put it. But yeah, it's a 4 mana beater that only has 1 air threshold, so it's easy to get down, right? And you can get it down on turn 3 with like a Gothic tower. Now, normally I would say that a card like this is not good because, one, it says, hey, you need another card in hand to make this like really work, right? But because it is a 4 power minion as well, that your opponent has to think like, ooh, do I want to waste waste killing this thing, or do I want to waste it on the thing that comes after it, or do I want to stop them from like putting an Automaton in immediately, Atonitom, yeah, or an Ignis Rex, or even a Cherubim or a Legions of Gaul afterwards, right?
Yeah, I like the innovation of Falling Star. Yeah, I don't know if that was something that was played prior to, but
this was an innovation in the previous Atlanta list that I saw, and I was like, I don't know. And then the more I thought about it, especially with land destruction being like, or site destruction being like a thing, is like, I can get this off early enough that like site destruction, won't deal with it if I've got 6 different towers in the deck, or 6 towers in the deck. So there's a very good chance that I'll be able to get it off the turn, like a turn before it goes, and then it just sits there if I needed to sit there, and it just will be like, well, here's a giant thing that's going to come down.
Yeah, what I appreciate is that it's sort of like additional thunderstorms in that, like, it's a thing that is a body because of Enchantress, but then also just happens to also deal some amount of damage. Like Thunderstorm does it as part of what it does, whereas like the Falling Star will do it afterwards when you convert a minion for free. But what it ultimately is doing is still like aligned with that. And I kind of like that innovation, particularly because of a lot of the minions that you're playing. It's like you'd play them anyway. So like even if you Falling Star, put in Grandmaster Wizard and don't get any of the strike value, the fact that they just drew 3 cards for free.
Yeah, free Grandmaster Wizard sounds great.
Yeah, so like it replacing itself mana wise, and then either generating some amount of value or clearing that area. It's like attack with this thing, and then they can't touch it, and then you just get to clear wherever that is in the realm that you've moved it to. It seems really powerful.
Yeah, it's an interesting space to play in, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure this is where the deck wants to be. But one of the things I've noticed as I was playing these games is I almost never had anything worth throwing down in my hand. Now, I played 3 games, so like I still have a little bit of time to mess around to see if I'm doing this. But I think I need a larger. This is the real problem with this card, is like, it's an elite card. There's only 2 of them in the deck, right? How much of my deck do I want to put into this plan? And I need to put a significant amount into this plan as far as playing big guys in order to convert on it.
Bro,
but then also,
I'm over here trying to get you to play Grim Reaper.
I like Grim Reaper. I have played it before.
Grim Reaper off the Falling Star, bro. Exile their whole.
That's not terrible.
Exile their whole thing.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Drought ain't doing it for me. Like, I'm gonna take out 3 Droughts right now.
Wow.
It was cute, but it wasn't enough. So I'm gonna remove the Droughts, because there were some other cards that I thought about playing in here as well.
Now you just opened up some space for the Grim Reaper off your Falling Star.
Sure, we'll throw Grim Reaper in there. Let's throw Grim Reaper in there right now. I don't hate it.
He doesn't hate it.
Right. So things I took out of the deck that the guy from Atlanta was playing was, I removed the Angel's Eggs from here, Phil.
Sure.
Because I'm already playing Orm Infester. And I was like, well, this is basically Angel's Eggs, like 2 and 3, but this can attack. It also is it's not the best thing to drop for your Falling Star, but it is a thing that you can drop for Falling Star and get some value out of. I removed 2 Apprentice Wizards from my original deck, and then I started to mess with some bigger guys. Right, Monstrous Lion I think is a fine quote unquote control piece because it can attack sites. 9 times out of 10, I don't want to attack sites initially. I just want to get stuff off the board. Right, like if I can get to the point in the game where I can take back control of the game, I'm happy. So if Monstrous Lion I played on turn 3 or 4 and it converts, or it even stays on the board after it attacks a 3 power guy, I'm doing okay.
Zach, I'm curious with just looking at the Aura Suite. I noticed that your Aura Suite stops at 5 mana between Abundance and Atlantean Fate.
Yeah, well, so one of the cards that I took out for Drought was actually the Great Drowning of Men.
I was gonna say that and you're a Blaze, right?
Oh well, no. So Blaze I could play, but the other card that I took out was Invasion.
Oh yeah, and Invasion's really powerful.
Well, Invasion's interesting because I think we talked about this on the last episode about how this is 10 power, we're the guys. Well, what happens, Phil, is that if Invasion lives, is alive, at the end of your turn you won't get anything because it's a guy. It is occupying sites.
Oh, so it's actually not good. Yeah.
Now that I walk through it, it's not bad. It basically comes down like a Grave Titan. It's I'm a 6 body and I produce 2 or 3 guys, right? And then for the next couple of turns, you're just take 6, take 6, take 6, right? It's not bad. Let me just clear the air here about why Enchantress is even playable, Phil. Everyone is running so much is able to basically clear the board of creatures every turn, for the most part, either your creatures can attack your opponent's creatures. The onus is on every opponent to get rid of everything else that's on the other side of the board if you can, right? You want to try and just make it so that you don't get to have any status on the board, and if you can do that, you control the game. You have the tempo, right? With Enchantress, it's very hard to get rid of all of these auras. And they just sit on the board, and then the next time I cast a card, they are basically a charge minion, right? It's a thing that's been on the board for a turn, doing its own thing. It's appropriate value thing for its cost. And then also just now it's a guy. It converts some damage.
Yeah, I see the value in that. I have no reps with Enchantress, so I don't have any pushback on experience. It's just how the cards work to me in theory. But I would obviously trust your actual experience playing these cards to know you explaining how invasion is antithetical to how Enchantress works, how they don't work with each other. I'd be oh, I'm gonna cut that for literally anything else. But if you're no, the value is still there.
Yeah, I mean a 6 power guy is a lot is enough to convert a lot of times, and those 2 other guys, oftentimes, Phil, they're either blockers or they're maybe an opponent is oh, I'm gonna next turn I'm gonna attack 2 of my guys in your evasion. You're well, you can't because I have a foot soldier. I'll block with the foot soldier.
Yeah.
So those foot soldiers can be the difference, right? And also just hey, I played this thing, I got some amount of value out of it, and then you cleared this off, but I still got these other little guys running around. Anytime you can do that, as well as I do in Magic, if you do something like that, it's just that incidental extra value that you get out of that card is what makes and breaks games.
Yeah.
So here's the so I've come to a few pressure points, right? If the Necromancer's deck I'm specifically trying to make sure that if I'm playing this deck, it's good against the Necromancer's deck, because I feel like that's the deck that we're going to see a lot of at the higher tables. It's going to be relatively good. It is expensive to make if you do the the unique version, but you don't have to do the unique version. You can do a lower powered version that's still quite good with elites and extraordinaries. Elites and exceptionals. And I think that if you need to test a deck against any deck, it's your deck has to be able to at least compete on some level with that deck. Right now, this deck does not do that. And one of the reasons is because, I mean, just look at the mana base for this thing, dude. Like a 3, a 3, a 3, a 3, a 3. You know, there's a lot of 3s and 2s in this deck, and it's very hard to make those work.
And you're not playing any doubles. You're not playing any double threshold sites.
I'm not right now, and so that's a consideration. I'm looking at, so there's a couple things here, and we're gonna mess around with the deck for a second. So these Sugar Plum pixies have been fine, but not very interesting to me. I'm gonna pull them out. Morgan Le Fay hasn't been that good for me either. I'm not a untap and get the value. The value is already inherent in the cards that I play. So I don't think like Morgan Le Fay drawing me 3 cards and probably being removed after I cast one of them makes that much of a difference. So what I want to do is I want to put Koinixies in here. I think that is...
Bro, if you're Koinixieing, you got to be Mariner's cursing, my guy.
Well, I don't know about that, but I definitely know that if I'm Koinixieing, Bog can go, and Thin Ice can definitely come in, right? Before we go any further, right? We like Bog and Thin Ice are basically trying to do something similar.
I don't know about that, dude. Thin Ice seems pretty bad in Enchantress because if you animate your aura. Well,
I won't be animating my auras on top of my Thin Ice.
I'm just saying, like you can't animate it on the block.
Yeah, but I don't
can't animate to that block.
I don't generally attack my own sites with these.
Also, for what it's worth, though, I believe that the ruling, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was asking about the ruling on how submerging an aura works, it would just continue to do what it does.
Well, here's the issue: is if it is a submerged aura that is a creature that does not have submerge, it dies.
Right. Because I was thinking, like there's a way where like I was asking that ruling in regards to the flood because the flood said submerge everything. And so how would auras work in that space? And
well, it just depends on the aura, right? Like Black Plague affects the entire site.
Well, I'm saying that like auras can exist. There's nothing that says auras can't exist in the subsurface. So, but like you animating, you're turning them into creatures that then don't have burrow or submerge. Well, if they don't have submerge and then you move it over to the Thin Ice, it's just going to limit your own movement.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but my thesis here is that Koinixie is stronger than the cards that I removed with Thin Ice and Trollbridge. I'm already playing Trollbridge, right? Like that functionality is what the entire format seems to be running around right now anyhow. And it just makes sense that like if I am the control deck, like this is one of the best control shells that we can offer. So why wouldn't I play it?
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, if you ran your own Thin Ices and then you ran into an opponent that was also running Thin Ice, that's a lot of Thin Ice in the realm that you can't move your enchantments onto. You know what I mean?
I mean, at that point, then I can Great Drowning of Men those things. Because it destroys the sites.
Yeah. So but you can't rely on your one unique. I'm just saying that, like, I'm just saying if Thin Ice is already super popular and it's sort of counterintuitive to like how you can function because you have to occupy so many more squares. But like, I don't know, maybe in practice, like you might be right that it's the better way to go. But I'm not
100% sold on all these creatures now. And same thing with the Falling Star. Like, if I'm going for the control route, like the Falling Star seems too cute to me. And here's the thing is so there's a part of me that was looking, Phil, and I was like, I'm having trouble drawing Poison Novas when I need them, right? I feel like I'm not, like that extra 10 cards suffocates this deck a little bit. So I'm trying to find a balance here between what I can do to make this deck like more consistent and what I can do to stay in the game long enough to draw those cards, right?
Dude, play some Splendors.
What is Splendor?
Play Sylvan Splendor and then some stuff to trigger it and draw some cards.
What's Sylvan Splendor? Sylvan Splendor. Whenever you cast a beast or a fairy to an affected site, draw a spell. Dispel if this is effectively if it's attacked. What beasts or fairies do I have?
I don't know, man, but it's an aura that draws cards, and that's what you're looking for, right?
No, I don't need auras that draw cards. I need this. I need things to deal with card parity. Once I have the auras like are the end game really to me. Like put sure, Wildfire and Thunderstorm, Great Famine and Black Plague. Those like 8 cards do a very good job of protecting me for the early part of the game. But Thunderstorm's not good enough anymore. Wildfire doesn't hit almost every creature as a 4 now. It seems like, right? And yeah, Toshimer Trinket is great because I at least have that going for me. Is I can attack with a Wildfire or a Thunderstorm into a 4-butt, and it turns them on too. Like I can play this, turn on my Thunderstorm, and put it on the Thunderstorm and attack and hit something like that, or even like in a situation where I have to attack the Avatar for some reason, or I need to attack a 1 power guy for some reason with the Wildfire, like the Toshimer Trinket lets it live because
if
it
you
does
don't
3 damage to everything in the realm.
You can cast a relic anywhere, even if there's nobody to carry it?
Apparently.
Okay.
I can cast a relic, and on cast, it turns these things on, and then I can choose where it's going.
Oh, so you don't have to have a target before you cast.
Yeah, that is my understanding. It's not a targeted spell, but you're basically announcing that you're playing it. That turns your guys on, then you can put them in the guy's hands.
So it's not like I have to. It's not like you're like I have to. Cast
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That is how I have read this card thus since I've seen it in decks, because people are playing this in the Enchantress deck, and I couldn't imagine they're playing it so that they can just turn on 1 enchantment every turn, especially if they don't have anything. Like, are you just playing this on your Avatar and then like turning an enchantment on, which seems fine, but like,
go back to Land Deed, man. Just Land Deed, have an aura pick it up, and then you control all 4 locations.
Yeah, I mean,
that seems so sick.
It's silly. My God, it's the thing about Land Deed. What costs 4?
It costs 4, but you play literally any aura.
This shit's too cute, Phil. It's too cute. I don't enjoy trying to make another wombo combo work, and it's elite. Like, I'm trying to play the control game. I'm not trying to play the like gotcha game.
It's not even a gotcha, man. It's like you just take 4 of their sites and then you've doubled your mana.
So follow my my thought process here a little bit, because I got sidetracked. The mana in here is kind of atrocious, right? Initially, I was thinking that what I wanted to do...
What if you control their mana, though? Get their threshold.
Initially, what I was trying to do, Phil, was I was going to remove all the water from the deck and play Earth, because what's the next best card after Poison Nova as far as like board control? Earthquake, right? So I was like, maybe I should play Earthquake here, right? And I thought about, okay, well, maybe I remove water, and I looked and I'm like, I kind of like all the stuff that water's doing, And I looked, okay, well, maybe I want to remove air, and okay, if I have to lose Grandmaster Wizard, that's a giant bummer, right? At time, whatever, I can play some other dragon, that doesn't matter. Legions of Gaul, I kind of like here, and I'll talk about Legions of Gaul in a minute. But I could afford to lose those. And then these other cards are like, they're role players at best. Sphere of Animosity doesn't do a lot. Black Plague does a lot, but like, if I'm getting, here's the thing, Black Plague does a lot to the point where I'm like, ooh, that's a card that I feel like I actually do lose to just add Earth for Earthquake. And I don't really know what else I'm adding for Earth. Like I like after doing a lot of like soul searching here, I think these are the colors I want to be in. These are the elements that I want to be in for this deck. I just have to realize that like I need some other piece of control that I'm just not seeing right now, and I can't figure out what it is.
Well, I feel like to figure out what piece of control you need, you have to figure out what your problem is. What's your problem? What are you trying to solve?
Well, my problem is that I'm losing to decks that are just way faster than me.
Okay, so play the cage.
Cage of whatever. But the problem is that I'm losing to decks that are way faster than me that have 3 power guys. So it doesn't really do anything for me. If anything, it taps my possible blockers.
What's the stuff with 3 power guys? You just told me that everything was a 4-butt because of the wildfires.
Okay, that's even worse.
Well,
talking about Cage of
what
Sidorak.
problem are you trying to solve? If everything
2
is a
or less-
4-butt or a 3-butt, like
this doesn't solve either of those things. Like lock in all minions with 2 or less
what is
power.
the actual? Tell me the specific cards, because you've told me that 4-butts are the thing that are beating you because of wildfire, and then you just told me that everything is 3-butts.
Let's look at
what are you
Necromancers.
actually losing to?
Let's look at Necromancers, so I can tell you each of the cards. Hey everybody, you know it would be both unique and exceptional if you joined us at patreon.com/eternaldurls under the Magicians tier to get all of our sorcery content.
By joining us, you help us pump out more elite content for you.
Now back to the show.
Because it's impossible to be like, I just need another controlling element if we don't know what problem we're actually trying to solve.
So I know is a card that, like, Polar Explorers isn't so bad. It's actually, so the way I lost last time was actually pretty brutal. So between Lugbog Cat coming down early, off of like a Temple of Moloch, not even off of the what I don't even think they play the pond. Yeah, it was like a Temple of Moloch off of on turn 2 into a Lugbog Cat, and then followed up the next turn followed up by Ruler of Thule coming at me for like 8, right? And then being like, oh, I guess I'll just like play a Tadpole Pond. And then next turn it was like, here's another bunch of damage. Sacred Stag. Like all these cards, like I'm just trying to look and see what other cards like that I saw. Like Koi Nixie wasn't even an issue. Stag was a problem. Ruler of Thule was definitely an issue. I saw Wendigo a couple times. Wendigo's tough, but at least it like starts on the other side of the board until like Ruler of Thule like really got me. And there's no foil to that. There's no like it's a one of, like it's gonna happen occasionally.
Yeah. I don't think you can really play around uniques in the 60-30 format. Like, all right, they had a unique.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need removal, just like pocket blanket removal, like you're in water right now, you can play the polymorphs.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what I need to do is look at polymorph as like my other choice. Let me go over to polymorph. I'm just like, it's very frustrating because like I know this deck is good, and if I can last long enough, like I need to get past like turn 6 without being like completely life pressured to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm at death's door. Like, I mean, it's very hard to like come back once you're at death's door.
I think like also I'm like looking at your deck and it's like individually powerful stuff, but then like a lot of your minions don't do anything with what your avatar is doing. They're just sort of like, you know, generic things. And it's like, okay, if Monstrous Lion is just considered a removal spell, that's all well and good, but like, is that a worthwhile enough removal spell for what you're trying to do?
Monstrous Lion is a removal spell, but it's also another thing that I don't feel bad about Falling Starring in. This issue is like Falling Star is creating this issue in my deck where I'm like, I need a critical mass of guys worth putting in, but that's also kind of screwing up my curve.
Then cut all that stuff.
So let's remove Falling Star, right? That means that Monstrous Lion can go. I actually think Monstrous Lion, out of all these cards, is probably one of the strongest things to keep in.
I think that like what's the
like this is garbage.
In this new world of 60-30, like looking at this list, like I get and understand the auras. I can understand some of the like pieces that work alongside that with your magics and such, because you can occupy multiple squares at a time. But then a lot of your minions are just like individually powerful things that otherwise don't do anything with the rest of what your deck is doing. And if you go up against a deck that actually has a cohesive plan, like this is still a game where synergy is going to outdo your individual power. Now, like there are some things like, you know, some uniques that can take over a game. Given some circumstances, but like the fact that everybody who's playing against Enchantress now understands that they have to M build around you, like there has to be I think you need to be more cohesive in actually putting pieces together, because if you play more auras are just naturally more difficult to remove than creatures are, and if you're playing random creatures, like I don't know, like do you need to be spending 3 mana to draw a card with Apprentice Wizard? Like what are you trying to spellcast that like really matters all that much? Like
I mean, that answer is Poison Nova. or Major Explosion, or
I mean, at that point,
Wildfire.
like,
These are all
is
cards
it,
that I do need guys around the board for, and I have really been feeling the pressure of not having the Adept Illusionists in, because they were also spellcasters, and it just made it so that I could cast stuff wherever I wanted, and that's not happening anymore.
I mean, where do you want to cast Poison Nova that's not around your avatar if you're worried about getting bum rushed out?
Sometimes, especially in a what is it, like Plague Frog situation or whatever, like I'll
Play
have
Blink.
a guy around like a bunch of frogs or whatever, and I know my opponent's like either going to play like Panoptic Manuscript, or they're going to be like Ruler of Thule, smash you next turn for like 7. If I could just be like, I'm just going to blow that out and have that not be an issue.
Dude, you're in air. Like, play Blink and move your auras around or move your avatar around.
So I was playing Blink.
Play Displace.
Before.
Play like you have options that you don't need to have more spellcasters. You just
so there is so as a concession to some of the cards that aren't in the deck right now, right? Like I have a Blink, it's in the board. I have Lightning Bolt, it's in the board. Riptide went into the board. Like a lot of spells that I was like, oh, these are great magic spells, I'm playing the main, I threw into the board because I was like, okay, I'm gonna, like, I should be playing Toolbox. Let me put these cards where I need them to be. I am still playing like Disenchant because sometimes you need to hit artifacts. So I was thinking about that. I don't know. I'm still like kind of messing around with like where I can be with this deck.
I keep hearing like you're like, I need these tools, and I still don't know what your deck wants to do with all of these additional things that you've added in the 10 cards. Like, I think like before figuring out like I need another piece of control and I don't know what it is, I'll be like, go look at like, what are you actually out the gate in the dark before your opponent reveals what avatar they're doing? What are you trying to do? And then from there, how can you ensure that that thing happens? Like that, I think that that's a safer thing than like just randomly throwing in cards that are like maybe good in some circumstances, or like I don't know, like you're a proactive strat. Like I think you can be proactive even if you have some so to speak controlling elements.
My strategy seems proactive, Phil, but it is a control deck. This is like a mid-range control deck. Especially in this game right now, I'm back in the situation where we were with Druid, where almost every deck you see, I think, is going to be a very aggressive deck that's leaning on that Necromancer's tilt. And I don't think that I have time to be like this aggressive deck that tries to do aggressive stuff when all of my cards are outclassed by, whatever I need to be a control deck, because if I'm not playing like Poison Nova and Infiltrate, whatever, Polymorph, I think Polymorph is a smart choice, because Polymorph is like yet another card I can use to like get a big guy off the board that they get down for almost nothing. And like, I was thinking about the value of Polymorph and of Immolation. Being able to 2-spell, like to do a thing to remove a guy from the board, and being able to do something else is pretty big. And I think it'll mean the difference of the game. I think Polymorph is a great choice here. I'm not sure Swap is where I want to be anymore either. I haven't seen a lot of use for Swap, so Swap might be another card I cut.
I'm thinking like if you just need to like buy time, like if your thing is I need to kill these minions that are hitting me, and here's the specific minions that I care about. Okay, if you're like, I'm just getting run over and so I need time, there are tools that you can put in that can buy you time. Like if you play like Gift of Frog or whatever and just block, like that does buy you time. Like I think like that's the thing that I'm trying to help figure out, that way I can actually be useful to you in the discussion of how this evolution is happening, is like, what do you actually need your cards that you feel are missing to do? If like you're like, I just need time to get to this to these cards that otherwise solve my problem, then we can look for the cards that buy you some time. If you're like, I actually am just like, these are very specific problems with these specific minions that I just keep getting run over, that are on every list, and even if they're elites and uniques, I still like find that I'm losing to them a disproportionate amount of the time, and I want to solve that problem.
If an opponent is playing 60 uniques, they're all unique level power and they're all undercosted.
But again, it's like I don't care about the rarity. I care about the frequency with which you're running into the problem of like I keep running into this exact thing and I would like to solve it. We can solve that problem.
Yeah. Well, I think that if we're let's say we're moving away from the Fallen Star situation, we don't want these two guys. Like those are cards that I'm show and telling in. Even the Cherubim is in that range too. I do like Legion of Gaul specifically because a lot of people are doing what I'm doing here. All of your cards that are good against my deck are generally in here, right? And being able to play Legion of Gaul and being like, now you literally have no tools to deal with my enchantments. Good luck.
See, now and I like that.
I have a 5 body on the board.
That's the best argument I've heard for Legion of Gaul in any archetype.
Yeah, no, I think this is the best place for Legion of Gaul. It also, unfortunately, Legion of Gaul, it costs 3 threshold, so 3 air threshold. I think I need to look at this and say, look, I need to remove 1 of each tower. I don't need it's tough, right? Like I don't know that River Flame is necessary anymore. I'm not playing Pact with the Devil, so I don't think I need that as like another hedge to that. Remote
That's
Desert,
some double threshold sites, man. You got some space.
Yeah, no, that's the start, right? Like, so there's this, and all right. So we're at 27. I think I'm running tower. Where's the other tower? Dark Tower. All right. Let's do Mountain Peak. I mean, and it's going to come down to, Phil, I'm going to need to get some reps in. So maybe you and I can get some reps in. I can show you how to use TTS.
Yeah, I would love that.
Put in an active volcano, right? There we go. And I think Deep Sea as well. Now I have to, the thing is like, I have to look and see like, what is my threshold that I need the most? I think honestly, like getting to 2 air is probably my biggest hurdle. And I don't know if I might already be there on air. Like I might already have like enough air in the deck that, and the next thing is getting to 2 water. I think 2 water is the next thing I need to do. So I might add a Deep Sea here and just go like that. And then I'll see how that works. I have a lot of water sites, but I have, like I've got Merlin's Tower. I've got, the fire I'm less worried about because I only have, like Death Dealer at 7, fine, whatever. Great Famine at 4 is like, it's a little tough, but like Wildfire is my most important like fire spell that I need to get out in a timely manner. I think by the time I get to 6 with Invasion, I should be fine. Infiltrate only costs 1. Poison Nova only costs 1. So I think that fire is the thing I'm the least worried about, like having that for. I almost want to be like, we'll remove this and we'll add another Mountain Peak.
Once you're on double air, if you're worried about like just having a catch-all against early stuff, you can also just play Cast in Exile.
This can go. I don't think that this is necessary. Yeah, so I did get to play against Harry, and he put in the Doom of Dolmen. I was like, oh no. This is like, it's the thing is like I don't actually mind these giant minions because I have, okay, I've got Fey Changeling, but they can also just be blocked. Like you can block those things infinitely, like, so I'm not too worried about like one giant minion. I like a minion that might early on like become.
I wasn't suggesting casting an Exile for big minions. I was saying if you needed another cheap removal spell to not die to like the early stuff that you seem to be really worried about.
Yeah. I think here's the thing, Phil, is this is the spot where I'm like, like I would like a minor even maybe like an Arc Lightning. How much does that cost? Is it
4 mana?
4? It's too much. If it was 3, I'd feel good about this card. Like I need to be spending less mana than they are to put these minions into play, At that point, I might as well just play Drown.
Well, the part of like where I'm like, if you can isolate the stuff that you actually like, if you can actually identify what the stuff you're getting run over by is, like, are you getting run over by a bunch of X1s? Play Murder of Crows. If you're getting run over by a bunch of mortals, play the thing that kills all mortals. Like, you can like lean into
Riptide's
stuff.
actually good here now because I'm playing with Thin Ice and Trowbridge, so I can play some main deck Riptides. I don't know that I need this 4 Waters of Paradise anymore. I don't have a mass of dudes to throw into the grinder here. I could see upping my Apprentice Wizards to get to see more cards. I almost want to play 2 Fey Changelings. How many Fey Changeling as a 2 of?
Yeah, play more Man Wars. Buy time. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need like 1 more card, and I could see how this goes. I almost want to just be. It might just be like another major explosion. We'll do that for now. All right, I'm gonna try this where it is, Phil, and see how that goes. So the next time I play against somebody, I can be like, okay, here's what I'm doing. I think we've solved some of the mana problems with the deck. I think also like you've helped me sort of figure out like, okay, I have to be on this plan or that plan. I can't just be on like the Fallen Star plus some other stuff is happening. Like I think that's too cute, and like you're gonna get lucky with it occasionally, but that's sort of variance that I can't abide by, especially in a game where you have 3 cards to open with instead of 7. That could be the cards that you're dropping. So like my best scenario is like I open a hand. It's like I have Gothic Tower plus some other air threshold and Fallen Star and a fatty to throw down, and like my opponent doesn't remove that fatty for 3 turns. Like that's or not for 3 turns. And also like everyone's removing guys. Like that's the other thing I want to keep in mind. Like I've gotten out Ignis Rex and Automaton, and then they just go goodbye. Like they don't have ward. They don't have any way to stay on the board. So like I think that's like kind of we don't really need that. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I think we've made some gains here as far as deck construction is concerned. I think we need to go back to playing some games and getting some reps in to see how we feel about this particular version of the deck, and if this is going to work. I think one of the big things, Phil, is that people have figured out a little bit how to play against a Enchantress deck. It's not as much unknown quantity as it used to be, but I do think that there's a lot of the interactions that they just still don't really know about. So to that end, first off, thanks. I needed like a moment to like sit there with my thoughts and kind of figure out what's important with this deck and mess around with the mana base a little bit. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going through this right now with Gothic, where they're just like trying to, figure out how to bring their deck up to speed and what makes this deck good right now. A great way to do that, to mess around with that space, is to write an article for eternaldurdles.com, for our sorcery, part of the show, and part of our offerings. And you can do that by hitting up Force Phil on any of the social media channels that we employ. Beyond that, if you are interested in seeing more content like this, you can support us at patreon.com/eternaldurdles. Phil, I think soon, I don't want to put a number on it yet. Once we hit a threshold of sorcery people that are on the site for a certain dollar amount, let's say like $200 or $300 worth of a monthly subscription to our content, I think adding another day where we do sorcery related content might be on the books. So your support will go towards making that maybe a reality as well. With that said, Phil, do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, submit your articles to me for anything that you want to talk about, deck build, or anything otherwise related that you want to talk about sorcery wise, and I'll happily publish it. But other than that, keep contesting the realm, everybody.
Later on. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you get a moment, Remember to like and subscribe to the video.
Also, don't forget to join us on Patreon at patreon.com/eternaldurdles in the Magician's tier.
Your support means a lot, and it helps us keep pumping out this content. Thanks so much.
Keep contesting the realm.